3.5%. So you'll start to see pressure on those counters, but we'll have to wait and watch as to how much of that actually persists all through day of trade. But we have locked in market open, a third of a percent lower on the Nifty 50 index. Let's look at the advanced decline is looking extremely weak at the outset itself. The breadth is looking extremely weak. 45 declines to just about 5 advances, even though there are plenty of stocks sitting on the fence. Nestle, Bajaj Auto absolutely flat, and some of those may well turn into green. HUL for the moment 0.5% higher, leads the Nifty 50 at this point. Bharti Airtel also doing fairly well for itself. Asian Paints is the top loser. For a change, at least it's a good change. Maybe over the last 5 days or so, we've seen Interglobe be the top loser. We've switched that to Asian Paints, at least at the start of day today. Hindalco down nearly 1%. We've seen Shriram Finance also seeing some bit of pressure after the kind of pressure we saw on it yesterday. FMCG index absolutely flat, maybe a mild positive bias. Realty down around another 0.25%. PSU Banks down 0.33%. So mixed cues coming in, but it's largely negative. In terms of the Nifty mid-cap index, down 0.33%. The Nifty small-cap index also down by about 0.33% thereabouts. The breadth continues to remain extremely difficult, at least on the Nifty. Eternal down 1%, Trent down 1%, HCL Tech down 1%, Tech Mahindra down 1%. Those are some stocks which are, or rather, some of those stocks were actually doing fairly okay in trade yesterday, but the weakness has persisted into today. And you're looking at Tata Steel as well, down another 0.8% thereabouts. Coal India is also sitting in the red. So broadly, that's within the Nifty pack. No real big movers within the Nifty. I'd like to point out rice stocks. LT Foods down 6% in trade. Chaman Lal Setia down 2.5%. Coforge, despite positive commentary, down 2.5%. KRBL down over 1% in trade. M&M is one of the other casualties, 1% down after the kind of move we saw yesterday. Fascinating. Interglobe has turned green. We're up around 1/3% on Interglobe Aviation. It was in the red, but has now come back into green, at least to start the day off today. So that looks like some bit of positive cue coming in with regard to that counter in particular. Let's talk about IT. That entire sector is down around 0.8%. And typically when banks and IT don't do well, you can't see support on the index, and that's exactly what we're seeing. The Nifty India Defense Index was down 3.5% yesterday, down another percent in trade today. So some bit of pressure seen on that pocket. Even within broader markets, the breadth is looking extraordinarily weak. It's just about, within the Nifty 500 basket, just about 80 advances to over 300 declines, or 300, nearly 400 declines, if I can call it that. Let's look at some of the stocks in focus there. A Latent View, which did very well on the back of volumes yesterday, down 3.5% to 4% today. Asian Paints has now slipped 2% lower in trade. PVR Inox is the other casualty, 2.5% lower. Nalco and NLC and ITI, Carborundum are some of the other stocks which are looking weak. A Tata Tele and a Spark standing out on such a day of trade. Jamna Auto also doing fairly okay, 1.5% higher. Of course, we'll wait for more of those trends play out, Aisha.
Yeah, Physics Wala, the Q2 revenues are higher by 24%. They've posted, a profitable quarter, this one. 72.3% is the profit, crore rupees rather, is the profit that they've posted. And that's a significant jump up from the 120 crore rupee loss in the same quarter last year. That stock, of course, holding higher by about almost 4.5% as we speak right now in trade. Fujiyama Power Systems as well, the Q2 revenue uptick of about 73%. PAT has doubled. EBITDA margins as well have risen to about over 18%. Fujiyama Power Systems, 3.5% uptick coming in there. Welspun Corp, their associate, has won an 1,165 crore rupees Saudi Water Authority steel pipes order. The impact is going to be felt in Q4 of FY26 to Q1 of FY27. There's GR Infra Projects as well. They've got a completion certificate for 8-lane Vadodara-Mumbai Expressway project. It's a price consideration of 2,747 odd crore rupees. So that's the other stock which is also in focus. Siemens, wherein the board has approved the 2,200 crore rupees slump sale of low voltage motor business to Innomotics India, the closure expected by June 2026. That stock not really seeing much of a move today. Dredging Corp, Invesco Infra Fund, remember, bought 2.5 lakh shares at about almost touching 943 rupees per share, 5.5% lower on stock as we speak right now. And then, of course, there's L&T. They've approved the transfer of the realty business to their wholly owned subsidiary, L&T Realty Properties. Look out for what that stock as well does. But in terms of where you're seeing some stability, it's Bharti all the way. Interglobe, yes, it stalled the fall, it seems. But again, early days yet. Let's see how sentiment overtakes price action for the Nifty. We're getting quite whacked. 155 points lower right now. Banks, financials, that's where your pain points are, Kunal. What's your reading?